Hi guys, 1863 Musket, 1863 US Norfolk with the US Eagle right there. So the 1863 was an update on the 1861. So this is an original, or parts of it is original 1863 musket. So what happened with this was, at some point somebody cut the original barrel down somewhere and made a shotgun, a muzzle-loading shotgun, cut the stock down, etc. So the gentleman who owns this, then he got a barrel liner, a 58 cal barrel liner, and he drilled it out, drilled the original, the now shotgun barrel, he drilled that out, and the barrel liner was then inserted and then welded at a point. And I think it's right there because that's all around and that's the only weld knock. So this outer skin is original, as well as all the way to the back here. I didn't do this work, this is how it came to me. So I'm not exactly sure where it all joined together, but I know it's clear joined there, and then this is a brand new barrel. So that's the breech plug at the back, the nipple goes in there, that's that part. It looks like this whole thing has been acid bathed in acid at some point. So there's no stock, so this is a replacement stock, and it's kind of semi-inletted. At the back here, that's the butt plate, so we need to relieve a lot of timber there or wood there to get that to go in. Take that step off the back there, so that can go there. There's screws for it, for the butt plate. On the action over here, on the lock, it's not going in there, so it is semi-inletted, but that's not going in there, so there's work to be done there. At the bottom, trigger guard, same thing, semi-inletted but not going in. Also need to do some work on that, and it's the case with everything, so that those little ferrules are not going into those holes. This, I'm assuming, is part of the manufacturing process. This needs to get worked away. There's a paddle, there's that hole, let's go all the way through, and then material removed over there, because this paddle sits there, and that puts pressure on the ramrod, which slides into that channel, and then that paddle gives a spring tension on the ramrod so that the ramrod doesn't fall out. So that's what's going to happen there. It's a new ramrod, and also the barrel does not want to go in here either. That's more inletting to be done on the barrel. The barrel bands, it's got 3 barrel bands, 1, 2, and 3. A lot of work needs to be done to get them to work. That's the front one, it's not going on. That's the middle one, it's not getting on there. And even the rear one, it gets up to there. So I've got to skim material off all the way, because that barrel band needs to end up there, and this tapers all the way up. Still need a nose cap for it. There's a nose cap that comes on there, we need that. Still need a rear sight to go on there, as well as a rear sling swivel to go onto the trigger guard. And all the parts are there. Then it's just a case of finishing it and making it look original. For now, the plan is that this will be browned. So this will be brown, this will be blued, this will be blued, the butt plate will be blued. The trigger guard and the lock, they're supposed to be color case hardened, and you can see some color case hardening peeking out there. But for now, we're just going to cook this off, clean it, and then the stock will be just a linseed oil finish stock. Quite a unique project. Got all the inletting done, nose caps on, just slides in there, needs a screw, front barrel band, middle barrel band, and the rear band. Got the block of wood off there, got the lock inletted, the trigger guard is inletted, and the butt plate. Barrel is inletted, and now just for the sanding of the stock and then applying the finish and bluing up or browning up the barrel. There we go, got all the sanding done. Took it down to 240 grit. That's the inletting. There's a spoon that sits on top of that, and that puts tension on the ramrod, so the ramrod doesn't ramrod goes in over there, and then that spoon pushes down on the ramrod over there so that it doesn't just flop out. Got the sanding done all over, went to 240, and that's really it. I'll apply the stain next. Got 3 coats of birchwood Casey rusty walnut on there, and I just gave it a light sand with 320 in between the coats, just to knock down the fibers that was standing up. Still a little bit left on this final third coat of fiber standing up, but I'll knock those down when I sand in the linseed oil. Done sanding. So there's some pock marks here from the original barrel, and so up to that point, that's the old barrel, and then it's sleeved on the inside. So this is new, but even the new bit has got some flat spots, and I don't know if that's from maybe the chuck when they hold it. I don't know. Another flat spot over there, but that's as far as I'm going to be sanding. There you go, guys. At long last, I got that Springfield musket completed. I'll start at the back with the wood. I put a red stain on the wood, and then a walnut stain on top of that, and then some Danish, first some boiled linseed, 2 layers of boiled linseed, and then some Danish oil over the top. And that's what the stock, just an overview of the stock. Over here, the stock at that big block, I'll lift that on until last, right until the end, because it gave me a place to hold. I had to remove really a lot of wood off the fore end to get the barrel bands to fit. So because of that, I started in the front and I worked back, not wanting to thin this out while I'm adding pressure there. So I did the front, then stepped back until I got to the end, and then took the block off. The barrel didn't go into this stock, so I had to do all the inletting there. Also I had to do the inletting on this, on the lock. That didn't want to go in either, as well as the trigger guard didn't go in. The butt plate, same thing. I also had to inlet that to get that to fit. The barrel has been browned as per the owner's request, as well as the new front sight. The barrel bands, I blued those up again as per the owner's request. I left the ramrod in the white, and this is like a nickel plated nose cap, which I just cleaned up and left it as is. The sling swivel is a replacement, and I kind of did I blued it and rubbed it down because I wanted it to blend in with what's left of the color case hardening of the trigger guard. I do think it came out really nice. There are some blems on it, but we try to recreate an old rifle, not try to build a brand new one. Half cock, full cock, new nipple, fire. I hope you guys found that of interest. We talk again. Stay safe. Cheers.